Welcome back to Gear Check Games. This is part 5 of our Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Super Mega Awesome Chocolate Covered Edition. Again, I am joined by Dan, Joe, and Nick.
You really shouldn't put that in your PS4, dude.
Yeah.
I think it's going to wreak havoc on your disc reader.
Yeah, well, I've had to replace the disc reader once before.
Always take care of your rare games.
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, I just want to take a quick pause here and say that I believe this is the only time in the entire series that we see a Heartless form.
Yeah.
So that's how that happens.
Well, technically there was another time.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I guess.
So, I don't mean to alarm you, but I forgot to turn the contrast up to human levels. So we're living in the realm
we're being consumed by the darkness.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, see, it works. I'm sure the viewers will accept this as a valid excuse.
This
and if our hearts get ripped out and turned into, I wish I could remember what the soldiers were called.
Actually, Trey, you still have one more chance, because you have to edit this with the commentary.
Well, that's true. Joe, you know me, I'm lazy.
I like that we have like a little bakery window for shoes.
Yeah, it's so you can window shop.
It's because the person who designed that shop didn't design an interior, but they wanted it to appear like... Is that Comic Sans?
Probably.
Nothing screams fun like
Hotel.
Comic Sans.
The hotel font looks like it's made out of SpaghettiOs.
I like that all the merchants in the Traverse Town kind of got together and agreed to all name their shops just like after what they sell or what service they provide.
Keep it simple. There's a lot of people coming and going from this town, so it pays to keep it simple.
I met a lady at a coffee shop once, and she's this lady who she came to the States to vote actually in the last election. Yeah. And she brought her daughter with her. Her kids are 100%.
She just pulled up her trousers, like, all right, you guys can't be trusted to do this. I'm going to take over.
Basically,
she came over to vote for us.
I love that Donald and Goofy are just like staring at the money and health orbs on the ground.
So the lady, her kids who are 100% Australian kids, they come over here and they're like, "Mom, the States are weird. They literally just call stores like what they are, like gas station or bread shop, or like
bread shop,
bread company."
She said we're much more literal with our titles over here.
Is there like is there a charming Aussie term for gas station then?
I don't know.
Macca's.
Petrol
Everything
station?
in Australia is Macca's.
Oh my god.
If you can't get it at Macca's, you can't get it in Australia.
So, there's something I want to say about this little part of the game where Donald and Goofy are chasing you around.
Yeah.
There's no
Inadvertently.
like order into what doors you're supposed to go in and out of. You're just supposed to guess which ones they're gonna follow you in and out of.
Yeah. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Which I guess it's kind of going off of the assumption that like the player's going to want to explore all of Traverse Town.
Yeah.
Which
but you're like
instead of making something straightforward like you following Donald and Goofy around.
Yeah.
But why would you have motivation to do that?
Well, it's one of those parts in games where you really don't know what you're trying to accomplish until like after you've accomplished it. Because what you're supposed to do during this part is basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like go through all of the doors in Traverse Town, finding nothing, and triggering those little Donald and Goofy cutscenes, and then go back to the first district where like the story will progress. Which, on the one hand, like I think that does a good job of like putting you in the same headspace as Sora, who's like lost in like an unknown world.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as a player who's looking for their next objective, it's pretty frustrating.
Yeah, it's a bit disjointed and
I feel like I sort of treated this segment of the game as looking for Leon. Like, I was curious where Leon was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I just wandered around aimlessly. I was like, just exploring the place.
Are you guys ready to see some sad dogs?
Yeah.
99 puppies were
Pongo
lost.
and Perdita.
They don't look very sad. They look like they pose their models to make them look sad, but their faces are just completely static. So you don't really
Perdita
get that.
looks. Perdita looks bored. Pongo looks.
They look like
confused.
taxidermy.
They kind of
Anyway,
do.
they're both cute.
They're barely moving. They're depressed.
Alright, Perdita looks a little bit sad, but Pongo's just like... He doesn't know what's going on. He's just a dog.
He's just been lobotomized.
They really missed a golden opportunity to have a Dalmatians world in Kingdom Hearts 3 where they turn Sora into a Dalmatian and you have to go round
Every
up the
Kingdom
puppies
Hearts
again.
fan's dream.
After it went so well with the Lion King world in 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Trey, the furries already got the Lion King world.
They need to be catered to a little more.
They're over at Square Enix. They're looking at their like demographic, and they're seeing like a Venn diagram of like Kingdom Hearts fans and furries, and like the overlap. They're like, all right, we
What
need more
percentage
animal
of the
worlds.
game do we need to dedicate to appeasing the furries?
Every year the slivers get closer and closer.
All right, what do furries love? They love They love the Lion King. They love dogs.
They love they love bears in both senses of the word.
I don't.
Who I know will make Pete
Let's make
a lion.
Sora Donald and Goofy make Sora a dog, but he's like a purple dog with like a green snout and like human hair.
Speaking of dogs, did you guys catch the Lady in the Tramp fountain back there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is almost such a minor reference that it... I don't know, it's just weird. You don't see that stuff throughout the rest of the game. Like, it's either there's a world based on a Disney movie, or a character, or like a major game element.
Well,
Wait a second. Has this been Dog World all along?
Yeah.
well, Traverse.
We've got the Dalmatians and Lady and the Tramp here.
So Traverse Town is where people go when their worlds are destroyed.
Right.
So does that imply that France has been destroyed?
All dogs.
Traverse Town is where you go when your world was deemed not cool enough
Well,
to
yeah,
make into a
'cause-
proper, full, like, Kingdom Hearts world.
Because we meet the... yes, France was destroyed, Nick, because we meet the Beast later.
Oh yeah,
and-
that's
and-
true.
Not
And we
in
meet
France.
Raimi in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Wait, who now?
Raimi,
Oh,
the
yeah.
little chef.
We meet
Oh right,
Rayman.
You mean Remy?
Oh yeah, whatever.
Remy?
See, that's what I was going to talk about in the previous episode with, like... I feel like
We meet
Traverse...
Sam Raimi in Kingdom Hearts 3.
I feel like Traverse Town should have been the hub, and you access the worlds kind of like you do in like Rogueport and Thousand Year Door, where there's like little like contextual things throughout the world, like maybe to go to the Aladdin world you have to like buy the magic carpet from a merchant and he like flies you there, or to get to the
And the
Alice in
merchant is
Wonderland
the
world you go into like a garden and there's a rabbit hole that you fall into. Because
so, like,
the
Banjo-Kazooie?
actual way that you access other worlds in this game is so ridiculous, like it just boggles the
I need-
mind.
But
I
Joe,
need
you're
Banjo Hearts, or
but
Kingdom
Joe,
Kazooie.
your way doesn't make sense with the story.
Well, they could change the story.
Imagine that, altering the story to make
I mean-
gameplay more fun.
It's not the Kingdom Hearts way.
If people automatically get shunted to Traverse Town when their world gets destroyed and they somehow escape, then it wouldn't really be too far of a stretch to imagine that it might also be connected to other worlds.
Yeah.
Well,
Like the other way as well.
it is connected to other worlds with keyholes.
Here's Broody Grump McGee.
Which you can unlock with your Keyblade. And
There's no way you're
Another Final Fantasy
I
cameo
do like
here.
I do like the idea of Traverse Town being more like developed to be a proper central hub.
Well, yeah.
But I also do kind of like the idea of Traverse Town just being like its own thing,
Because
So,
like not necessarily like gamified.
well, but like you don't really do much here. Like you have this part at the
I know.
beginning, and then you come back a couple of times throughout the game for like plot relevant events.
Yeah.
so this NPC right here, this fella who's very thoroughly trouncing Trey right
Are
now.
you gonna beat him, Trey?
Yeah, you're gonna
Here's-
beat him.
In this
don't know.
totally winnable scenario.
He's one of the weirder Final Fantasy imports in that they just change his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I think Leon's just kind of walking up to you with a hand in his pocket.
Well, that's the Leonard strut.
Yeah.
I think Laguna's a Lenore, but whatever. I think he does the same thing.
Laguna.
Well, the weird thing about the Final Fantasy characters, because I was gonna say, I think the reason given for why he changes his name is because he wants to like start over with a clean slate after he like failed somehow in his original world.
Yeah, isn't that like the implication of this game? Is that the Final Fantasy worlds like succumbed to darkness?
Yeah.
So all the characters kind of feel like they're in a bit of a forlorn state.
Well, not all of the Final Fantasy characters, but at least the Final Fantasy VII characters, and I believe also Leon, didn't they come from Radiant Garden?
That's just Final Fantasy Land.
Well,
I mean that's how I always understood it, but like it's just weird to me, the inconsistency, because like with the exception of like Mickey, Donald, and Goofy and like all of their periphery, all of the Disney characters in this are like in line with Disney canon for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, like they just exist in their own worlds and they act like they do in their own movies, which, you know, take it or leave it, but like that's the way it is. But the Final Fantasy characters have like an original, like that's not the Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. Like that's Squall from Final Fantasy VIII, like given a different backstory, but he's like the same personality. And I don't know. It's
hold on a minute here. Radiant Garden, Balam Gardens, they are the same.
Yeah.
Riku. So you just remind me that I recently went to like a game shop, like a retro game shop with my grandpa, and one of the items they had there, which my grandpa pointed out to me, is like, hey, what's this? Was a giant $600 collector's edition of Final Fantasy Advent Children.
Oh my God.
With like a giant figurine, or like a giant cloud figure.
Everybody's gonna have one of those, right?
I think I know why Riku is depressed.
Because he's in the middle of the Red Sea as Moses was parting it.
He lost his voice and he can't jump good.
Yeah. Well,
Maleficent stole his voice so that she could marry Kairi.
That was actually the goal of the game.
The reason why that scene doesn't have voice dialogue is because it's an addition for the final mix version of the game. Which oddly was it was Japan exclusive originally, but oddly, I guess part of the like value add for it was that it's Kingdom Hearts, but now with the English voice cast in Japan, while simultaneously adding all of these new scenes that are supposed to have voice dialogue, but not getting the English voice actors to re-record them.
So it was cheap.
Hey guys, who was that red girl?
The red girl? Oh, that was...
That red girl. From the... You know, I think she was in the Final Fantasy VII remake trailers.
She has two names.
That red girl?
She's... So I don't want to anger or...
Who's that red girl? That's Leon.
I don't want to anger or upset any fans out there, but she could be Ares and she could be Ares. You decide.
I have never heard either of those pronounced that way ever in my life.
Oh.
I've heard Aerith and Eris.
Oh, Trish.
I've never heard the E.
Nick, you should watch our Wind Waker playthrough where he's always talking about the Ocarina of Time.
Oh yeah.
We tried to stop him. He wouldn't listen.
You couldn't stop him.
Hey,
so,
that just means I learned it by reading.
You know there are many other
That's fair.
out there besides your castle.
Wait, who voiced Aerith in this
Mandy
game?
Moore, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hollywood sweetheart.
Isn't she also the
Mandy
voice
Moore.
of Rapunzel in Tangled?
Yes.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah. And then Yuffie
Everything changed when the Heartless Nation attacked.
is voiced by Kim Possible. I mean, Rin Stevens. I mean,
She's even very comfortable with midriff showing.
Christy Carlson Romano.
It was foretold in the stars that are winking out one by one.
Have you heard of someone named Ansem?
Hey, can we get that as a gift set?
Well, not to abruptly change the topic or anything, but you ever heard of a guy named Ansem?
He recorded all of his findings.
Hey, why is Ares in the China room
Hey, guys, hold
and
on
the
a minute.
other guy's in the America room?
Guys,
Papers are scattered everywhere.
do you recognize that painting in the background?
Yeah.
Many worlds.
Do you know what it's from?
No.
That's
My house.
Yes. Those were my thoughts.
I'm pretty sure that's the hill Pacho lives on.
No.
Wait, were they like...
Not quite.
Hey, he just broke the fourth wall.
That's right. The Keyblade.
The Keyblade.
So, this is the key.
Well, it's a key.
Exactly.
I like that Donald and Goofy got brought to the Weeb room, and Sora got sent to the normal, like, Western style room.
Yeah.
What do you mean normal room, dude?
So the room's
Obviously, Traverse Town is in America.
Some ethnocentrism right there, my friend.
Yeah.
Traverse Town is a melting pot, just like
Melting pot of weird Disney and
Traverse
anime
Town.
characters.
Yeah, and dogs.
yeah.
Wait a minute. What happened to my home?
Oh my god, the first person we saw here was Pluto.
Irie.
Pluto actually just lives
It
here.
was meant to be.
Yeah.
So
that's
That's how I would
called-
react if I was just told that information, honestly.
See,
Sora's not used to being alone in a room with a woman.
Hey, no,
That's,
Leon's still there.
no,
that's how you dance to ska. That's called skanking. That's how you skank.
So that will not be the first time that I test my controllers to see just how responsive they are. I hope you're ready for seizure, Sora,
Oh boy.
because it won't be the last time.
Seems that way.
I can't wait.
So, speaking of next time, will we finally meet the people that are looking for us?
Probably not.
Wait.
No.
Who's to say
They're
there even
looking
is a
for
next
Leon.
time at this rate?
But they're also looking for the key.
I guess now they are.
Yeah.
Anyway, see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.